this is our small mammal room. At the moment, you can see every single cage that has a clipboard with some paper on. There's a patient in there. And actually, all of the patients in here are hedgehogs. And you can see in the middle, we've actually got that trolley that's been moved to the side with the plastic cages on. We don't normally have that in here. So that is temporary housing for hedgehogs because we've run out of cages.
Wow.
So that's what we call our temporary racking. The temporary racking comes in literally when we have no space left in the cages.
So that just shows how many patients you take in and how important this is, because imagine if like you couldn't take care of those ones just because you didn't have enough room, they'd be left out to die.
We'll always find space.
You'll always
find space.
You'll always find room for them, even if it's like really, really cramped up.
So every patient in here, so when they're in small mammal room, they are normally having either medications daily, or we are monitoring them quite closely. Okay, so each patient has its own sheet that will have exactly what medication it's on, what it's fed, the weight. So in here we check the weight daily, which is actually what they're just doing now. You've just seen Jeanette get the hedgehog out. So they're weighing these at the moment. So to prevent further stress, we will weigh them and clean them out at the same time. So we don't want to get them out, have to handle them, stress them out, then put them back and then have to get them out again for cleaning or weighing. So we do it all at the same time. Each one has lots of little laminates on the front, so you can see exactly what meds they're on, how many times a day they're having medication. Some are once, some are twice a day, some are actually more often than twice a day. You can see what they're being fed on.
Is that wet food?
Yeah,
yes.
That's meat in there. So we literally prep a whole bucket for that room in the morning. And as they go around each cage, check each patient and clean them out, they will then put in fresh food.
You're right, this room is very hectic. There is a lot of things going on. So one person's cleaning out the hedgehogs, another one's taking them out, another one's weighing them, then somebody's feeding them. So it's a lot of work to do.
You can see Jeanette.
So we've just come to the small mammal room, and this shows how many animals they take in here and how important it is, because they are already using those spare plastic ones, and that's an example of how many patients come in every single day, how important it is here, because they manage to treat it, and their goal, like Natalie just said, is to send them back into the wild. And if they can't do that properly, then there are some problems. So they have to do everything properly while there are so many different animals, which shows how important this is and how hard they work here.
And it's a little bit less hectic in here. So this is our bird room. Pretty much what it says on the tin. We have some pigeons in here at the moment, but the reason I'm talking out here is because we actually have a few birds of prey in here as well. Now, birds of prey do get very stressed in captivity. So I don't know if you can see at the end, we'll go in this room in a second, but at the end, the very end cages on the left-hand side, they've got towels over the front. The reason we put those towels over the front is we don't want the birds of prey to be seen out. They can get quite panicked in a cage, and obviously what's a bird's reaction when they want to get away?
They flap their wings.
They fly, absolutely. Yeah. And obviously we don't want them flying when they're in the cage because they're going to damage their wings. So we put these towels over the front to try and decrease stress. And we're very quiet when we come in here because any noise that could stress them out and get them to want to fly, we don't want them to cause any damage to themselves when they're in the cage. Yeah, so we have 2 buzzards and a kestrel in there. Food here already. A lot of empty cages in here.
You don't get many birds now, I think.
Not this time of year. Spring, summer, this is full, completely full.
Because birds are like building nests and they're doing all. So we got
lots of pigeons.
A lot.
So, should we see why this one's in?
So he can't fly.
He can fly, but not fly very well. There's a wound to the tip of his left and right wing, but that may have been if he was in a chicken coop when he was trying to get out. He could have damaged his wings. He's got a wound to his right-hand side. He is underweight as well. So we have started some treatment for him, and we will monitor his weight daily.
So if it's underweight, that means it's not having enough food?
Exactly, yeah.
So that shows how important it is, because they feed the animals, so then they go to the correct weight, like we saw back in the in the place where all the animals come in and then get checked, they had like a weight guide because it has to be the correct weight. And if it's underweight or if it's overweight, they actually put it back to its correct weight. Make sure that it's actually ready to go out into the wild, and they're not stressed like what might happen sometimes. So we should probably go out now.